Mission attachment, leadership engagement, and career development opportunities in nonprofit employee retention. A research project by Kat Barillo. Nonprofit organizations home tax-exempt programs for a variety of purposes, such as religious organizations, health concerns, animal protection, children protection, disabilities, just to name a few. Despite the altruistic nature of working in a nonprofit organization, these institutions experience a high voluntary turnover rate amongst employees. This research seeks to outline the reasons for voluntary turnover rates and offers methods nonprofit organizations can engage in to combat voluntary turnover trends. The research questions that drove my research in nonprofit employee retention rates were regarding mission attachment, which sought to ask whether a nonprofit organization's mission encourages employees to stay with the organization despite lower wages and few opportunities for advancement. Leadership engagement, which highlighted how poor management engagement in nonprofit organizations can cause an increase in employee turnover, and how the use of emotional intelligence to retain valuable, diversified employees is imperative. And career development opportunities, which sought to expose whether in-organization promotional and career development opportunities, or lack thereof, heighten or weaken the probability of a nonprofit employee's decision to stay or leave. Despite the extensive information available on nonprofit employee retention trends, some of the literature that stood out as critical to this research study included Brown and Yoshioka's Mission Attachment and Satisfaction as Factors in Employee Retention in 2003, where they identified three broad areas as explanations of why individuals intend to stay: belief in the mission and the desire to help people, satisfaction with the organization and coworkers, and satisfaction with their job and opportunities for personal and professional growth. In this qualitative research study, Brown and Yoshioka show the importance of nonprofit organizations' mission in improving employee satisfaction and retention. Ito and Brothridge's study, entitled "Does Supporting Employee Career Adaptability Lead to Commitment, Turnover, or Both?" The pros and cons for both non and for-profit organizations encouraging career adaptability, such as workplace development, trainings, mentorships, and networking opportunities in an effort to retain employees and decrease voluntary turnover, finds that on one hand, it enhanced effective commitment, but on the other hand, it increased employees' intentions to leave, both directly and indirectly through its link with dependents. And Paul White, author of Appreciating Your Staff Makes Sound Business Sense, states that the key is to communicate authentic appreciation in the ways that are meaningful to your team members. This makes good business sense. Mr. White highlights the importance of ensuring your employees feel valued and appreciated by management by emphasizing four ideas on how to ensure this: regular communication, personal relationship building, understanding the employee's personal nature, and whether there is authentic perception of appreciation. This quantitative research project can be conducted through an online survey and questionnaire in a quasi-experimental design by employees currently employed in the nonprofit sector. Participants are informed of research project's objectives, which are to gather data regarding the effects of mission attachment, leadership engagement, and career development opportunities on a nonprofit employee's employment status. The research will also include a consent form to participate and inform of the anonymity of all answers and results. Those who consent will be virtually clustered and sent an online survey and questionnaire that will include a random sampling of questions, along with several Likert-type scale self-assessments on the subject of mission attachment, leadership engagement, and career development opportunities. The sampling size of 150 participants will be split into 3 focus groups of 50 and will answer 50 questions each pertaining to the 3 research questions. The answers will be reviewed to determine 3 focus groups. The first will be those who feel strongly towards mission attachment, which will measure an employee's awareness of the organization's mission, the amount they agree with the principles of the organization, and how confident they feel in their abilities to perform their role in relation to the mission. The second group will be those who feel strongly towards leader engagement, which will measure how valued they feel in their current position, communication efforts of managers towards employees, whether the employee believes their manager is willing to foster the employer-employee relationship in order to understand their personal nature or emotional intelligence, and of course levels of authentic managerial appreciation and endorsement. And the final focus group will be those who feel strongly towards career development, which will measure the importance of an employee feels the organization places on training employees, the available opportunities for career growth within the company, and the likelihood career development courses will give cause for an employee to voluntarily turn over. Each participant will receive 3 wellness or PTO hours for their participation. In analyzing the data, graphs and tables developed from the data collected, including job tenure and diversification, will be used to analyze for significant patterns in retention rates amongst nonprofit employees based on the 3 listed research areas. When coupling the metric data with the literature and studies previously available, findings will correlate the key components to which a nonprofit employee might voluntarily quit a nonprofit organization. The focus groups will be compared to each other to find the overarching themes in order to highlight the strengths and weaknesses of efforts in a nonprofit organization in retaining talented and competent employees. The findings will be peer-reviewed along with being submitted to participants. The results should be generalized to the populace of nonprofit employees. When studying the effects of mission attachment, leadership engagement, and career development opportunities on nonprofit employee rates, a clearer picture begins to come into focus as to the reasons some employees choose to stay despite the typical lower wages afforded by nonprofits, and why some choose to voluntarily terminate their employment. Research regarding question 1 involving mission attachment shows mission attachment directly relates to job satisfaction, and that employees who believe in the mission of the workplace felt more fulfilled in their position, which positively affected employment retention in the nonprofit sector. Employees expect missional sacrifices will be made by management as well. Research regarding question 2 involving leadership engagement shows that a large majority of nonprofit employees do not feel valued or appreciated by their managers. This unfortunately leads to higher rates of tardiness, internal theft, stress among team members, and absenteeism, which in turn negatively affects profit margins and workplace morale. Employee recognition programs cannot compensate for poor leadership engagement, and appreciation can seem forced and ingenuine. Regular individualized and authentic communication and appreciation between employee and managers can improve statistics. Research regarding question 3 involving career development opportunities shows that career development opportunities pose a double-edged sword for nonprofits, as on one hand, it heightens commitment because it gives employees the needed information to enhance their workplace knowledge, but on the other hand, career development opportunities enhance employees' intentions to leave, as now they feel they are knowledgeable enough to seek a higher paying job elsewhere. This is a risk many nonprofits take to guarantee talent retention and knowledge. Nonprofit organizations, despite the stigma for lower wages and limited opportunities for career growth, have seen an upswing in employee retention over the last few years. Still, the lack of emotionally intelligent leaders can be a resounding reason for voluntary employment termination. Future research on leadership engagement with nonprofit subordinates could highlight nonprofit organizations' tendencies to promote unqualified managers due to need and lack of qualified employees applying for the position. With the extreme workload of a nonprofit organization, the need for those who do the work despite the lower wages cause many organizations to settle for unqualified employees in the hope that they can be trained into the position. As we learn, this may or may not work in the company's favor, and future research could be done on career development opportunities in the nonprofit sector to discover the trends and the correlations on the decisions to stay or leave after being further trained. Thank you for watching this presentation regarding mission attachment, leadership engagement, and career development opportunities in nonprofit employee retention efforts. Please let me know if you have any questions by commenting in the spaces provided in our discussion panel, or you can email me directly through my TTU email portal. Once again, thank you so much.